Hello everybody, welcome to another winter day here. I'm glad springtime is so close because, I do like winter, but it is not common where I live to have a winter storm every week. And I'm getting bloody sick of it. We had winter storms about 3 weeks in a row here. Like substantial amount of snow, ice storms, like advisories to don't go out if you don't have to, those kind of advisories being put out, and just I hate I want to work, like my job. Unfortunately, my job is a field that some of us will potentially lose hours because of that kind of weather, because the services we offer, like, nobody's gonna go out if they don't have to, so it makes our kind of business slower. And I did lose some hours. I had a couple days during those past 3 weeks that my shifts were canceled because of the weather. I mean, granted, rightly, they were bad enough that, not just like a little bit of snow falling. They were pretty bad. And man, 3 weeks in a row. And of course, last week, the third week, was bad enough that it was a type of storm that, hang on. That the amount they predicted that we were supposed to get, we got more than that. And I would know for sure because I had to go out and shovel it twice, so my arms were pretty sore after. My arms and shoulder that night was sore. No, thankfully, sleeping in my bed helped it a little bit. It was not as bad the next morning. But man, I know. And I shouldn't complain because I live in an apartment building, so I pretty much never have to shovel. Well, it might have been a little bit of that too. I think it was a combination of not having to shovel a lot in the first place, and just how much we got, and that I had to go out twice at work to do it. So, yeah. Oh man. I even commented this week that, man, if we get another snowstorm this week, I'm gonna scream. Oh, this God. I want spring. I am bloody sick of this. Now, I'll just say, granted, I can put up with snowstorms. I can, but every week, and I ended up losing a few hours because of it. Like, okay, Mother Nature, stop it. Anyways, so yeah, we got a bit of snow. I've already checked the weather forecast this week. Usually, when it comes to within a few days, I find usually it's mostly accurate. So this week, I already know we're supposed to get here. I already checked for Friday because it's been the past 3 Fridays that we've gotten those snowstorms. And this Friday it says a little bit of rain, but our temperatures are going to be like well above zero, so it will definitely not come as snow. And it's not a whole lot of rain, so kind of do the math in your head so I know even if it wasn't. So even if that were to fall as snow, it would not qualify as a snowstorm. So finally. So yeah, finally. And so yeah, and I just wanted to give a little more of my thoughts about the tragedy in Germany, the shooting. We now know that it was a former Jehovah's Witness, and very tragic, especially for an unborn child to never even have a chance to live, and just all those families that are going to be traumatized and suffering for a long time to come after an event like that. And yeah, but I think it's just kind of just a sad consequence of just because of all the toxicity of the Watchtower, you know, when you're kept in a box and so controlled like that, like everything is under so much control, like entertainment, dating, and you gotta go. How many of Jehovah's Witnesses go preaching because they have to, not because they want to? I could count myself as one of them, definitely. And it's just what they do to you if you dare to speak up or question. And it's just, yeah, shunning, disfellowshipping, losing family members like that. It's that kind of stuff. It's just bound to have severe, harsh consequences. I'm not saying that the members that get kicked out are justified to act out violently. No. Like, man, I will always say violence is never the answer. But it just kind of makes me think, like, Watchtower, like, what do you expect? What you're doing is very harsh, cruel, and, like, it's... With Jehovah's Witnesses nowadays, it's almost, you could say, you're not necessarily entering a safe, loving community when you join so-called religion like them. Because, you know, they preach a false gospel, they use a Bible that they made up, you're brainwashed, under high control. Like, a lot of times you're going to end up more unhappy than happy. I always just think of how many people are in there just because of more family pressures, you know, just not because they truly want to be a Jehovah's Witness, just the whole trickery of just so many people thinking that they're joining the best religion, the most perfect best religion ever, only to find out, or some never really find out, that nope, you've been tricked, you're brainwashed, you've been duped. And it's just, oh, so sad. But it also just helps me affirm in my head that, you know, the Watchtower is crumbling, it's falling, it's coming down. Because there's countries now that are really taking notice of the Jehovah's Witnesses for what I would ultimately say in the long run are going to be for the right reasons. They're shunning policies which are so inhumane and cruel. They really are. And it's too bad for Watchtower, because I thought there's a couple things that they cannot go back on, that they can never change, because it would just create a whole lot of backlash and anger from everybody, former members and even everybody else. And those things are the 2 witness rule, because there is a lot of child abuse and pedophilia going on in the organization. Yes, the witnesses that knock on your door, you never know if they might be a pedophile or have criminal records for other things for that matter. And they can't really, they're sticking to their guns by their own biblical interpretation of that rule, so they're never gonna go back on that one. The other thing I think of is the no blood policy they have, which is also how they just stubbornly stick to a scripture that many would say that shouldn't really apply to a blood transfusion, like putting blood into your veins, but they're sticking to it. They can't really go back on that one because there's so many witnesses that have sacrificed and have chosen to die instead of take blood. because I know that's been a little controversial in the past, that, you know, if they were to go back on it, they could very well be sued by a lot of people who lost family members, even children that have died, because the families had to obey the Watchtower and governing body. Nope, we cannot accept blood, even if it means they die. So, I just think, the Watchtower has done a lot of evil to so many people, such cruel treatments, and I think they're finally seeing the days where they're going to start paying and suffer the consequences for the harm that they've done. So that's all I had to say for this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.